Now, if you woke up one morning and your hair fell out like this, what's the first thing you would do? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Karen with Curl House. I am a licensed cosmetologist, a certified trichologist, and the owner of the fabulous Curl House collection. And I help women to grow and regrow their hair by taking a holistic approach. And today, you all, we are going to talk about what you would do if you woke up and your hair fell out like this. Or even if it wasn't like this, if you just started noticing your hair started falling out, what would you do? Now, I'm putting emphasis on this picture for a reason. This person is actually my sister. She came to me and said, "Help, Karen, my hair is falling out. What do I do?" You know she was in good hands when she came to me. What do y'all think is the first thing I told her to do? I told her that there are 3 blood tests that she needs to take. And that is what we are going to talk about today. The blood tests, the 3 blood tests that I think that you should take if you are dealing with hair loss. So not only my sister, I have worked with hundreds of women. I have helped hundreds of women, and I would say a few good men as well, to regrow their hair and to help them to determine what may be causing their hair to come out. And I can say it is 3 things that most of the women, and again, the few good men that I work with, had in common. The 3 blood tests that they needed to take. And usually when you take these blood tests and when you determine what your numbers are, then that is in part the reason you may be dealing with hair loss. Now, the very first blood work I suggest you take if you're dealing with hair loss, and it's the very same thing that I suggested my sister take, and that is get your vitamin D checked. Get your vitamin D checked. I cannot stress it enough. If you are new to my channel, you will hear I say all over my channel to get your vitamin D checked, you all. We are so deficient in vitamin D and we don't even realize it. So vitamin D, it is a vitamin, but it's also a hormone. And when your vitamin D levels are low, it affects many things, including your hair growth cycle. And it can push your hair into a shedding phase as opposed to growing. So vitamin D, and when I say get it checked, your vitamin D has to be more than normal. So when you get your vitamin D checked, you know, it's this range that doctors will give you. It can range from maybe 30 up to 150, but you don't want a range that's low, or you don't want your blood work to be normal. Rather, you want your blood work to be optimal. That's the key. When you get your vitamin D checked, the general range that I typically recommend is anywhere between 60 and 80. That is optimal. So when my sister got her vitamin D checked, guess what it was, you all? It was an 18. That is very low. So I am 100% certain that her low vitamin D affected her hair. Now, this video is not about my sister's journey, because trust me, a video is coming soon about her entire journey. But let me just give you this little sneak peek of her hair then and of her hair now. We're still working on it. Believe me, a full video is coming soon. But I just wanted to encourage you all, if you're dealing with hair loss, if you're dealing with thinning, make sure you get your vitamin D checked. And again, this is something that you have to connect with your doctor and your dermatologist as well. So while I did suggest this lab work, of course I suggested that my sister also connect with her doctor and her dermatologist, and she did. But let me not digress. Let me get back to this video and tell you the other 2 types of blood work that I want to get tested, but I wanted to go ahead and share that now so that you can see when you fix that deficiency within your body, hair will follow. And the second test that you should consider if you're dealing with hair loss is ferritin. Get your ferritin levels checked. So ferritin is iron protein, and it's actually the iron stored. Ferritin actually measures your iron reserves. It's like your iron storage. So not necessarily the iron floating around in your body, but the iron that's stored. So many people, you may get your iron checked, but it's key that you also get your ferritin checked. So that is blood work that you have to ask for. And typically as trichologists, we like to see your ferritin at around 70 and above. Even again, as I said earlier, you don't necessarily want to be in the normal range. Or when you get your blood work, the numbers, the range could be 15 to 150, and yours might be 16. That's still low. Your ferritin level is still very low. You want it to be optimal around 70 and above. Because what happens with iron? Iron is actually what carries the oxygen throughout your body. Your hair follicles are rapidly dividing cells, one of the fastest dividing cells within the body. So it requires oxygen to do that. So when your iron is low, then what your body does is going to divert that oxygen to other essential organs. And hair is not an essential organ. Your essential organs would be your heart, your brain, your liver, your essential organs. Hair and hair growth is not considered essential. Your body knows that you don't need hair in order to operate. So your body will prioritize essential organs first. That is why it is key that you get your ferritin checked, because again, that is your iron storage. And when that ferritin is low, that affects your hair growth. And that is one of the many things that I've seen in many of the clients that I've worked with. They have low ferritin, and that lower ferritin is affecting their hair growth. So that, again, is yet another blood work to get tested. Ferritin. And again, you have to ask for it. Normally, your doctor may not test you for it, but I encourage you to ask for a ferritin test in addition to iron. And the third test that I recommend that you get done is zinc. So many people don't even think about zinc, but it is very common for people who are dealing with hair loss to also have a zinc deficiency, particularly if you are someone who's highly stressed or if you are someone who's on a restrictive diet. That can affect your zinc. Now, zinc really plays a role with the structure of your hair. It helps with tissue repair. It helps with protein synthesis. It helps with immune function, with hormone regulation. And when your zinc is low, then that affects your hair growth cycle, and that leads to shedding, and that leads to thinning hair. It leads to dry, brittle hair. So zinc, if you are someone who's dealing with hair loss, I encourage you to get your zinc checked as well. Now, these labs don't diagnose everything. Let me be clear about that. They pretty much address some of the biggest nutritional deficiencies that I see as a trichologist that may be affecting our hair. If you are dealing with hormonal hair loss, so in other words, if you're noticing you might have some chin hair going on, you might have some adult set acne, you may be dealing with hormonal hair loss, and I'll talk about that in the next video. Now, while you are addressing your internal deficiencies, then you have to also consider the scalp environment, because a healthy scalp also produces healthy hair. And that is why I created the Curl House collection of products to help you to reduce the inflammation on your scalp, the irritation on your scalp, to help with your dry hair, to help you to regrow healthy hair. And this is the product line and the collection that my sister is using, and that many of my clients and my customers are using to help them to grow and regrow their hair. So check out the Curl House collection if you haven't already. Okay, guys, as I said, I am going to talk about hormonal hair loss next, so you can check out that video. And until we talk again, stay fabulous.